Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode of the Stratus Gaming Podcast. Each and every Tuesday, we come here on twitch.tv/addictive nerds to give you all the wonderful news, topics, and kind of what we've been playing. You can turn it, you can turn it live at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, every Tuesday at twitch.tv/addictive nerds, or later on VOD or audio podcast on any podcast service of your choice. And YouTube as we work our way up to 100 subscribers. Haven't checked in the last couple weeks. Probably haven't gone up that much.
No, we're at like 33.
Yep. I really got to start adding it to the description. I just completely forget when I write the description. But with that, it's going to be fun going in this next couple weeks because E3 just starts this weekend, starting Saturday.
Yep.
And I know Ann and I have been talking about it a little bit, a very little bit, about doing a kind of reaction stream this Sunday for the Microsoft. We'll see about doing any other ones, but at the moment we're definitely going to be doing the Microsoft because I got a lot writing on that event.
What time is that? That's like 9 o'clock in the morning for you, right?
Yes.
Are you going to be awake for that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Dude, if I have something planned, I'll be awake for it.
That's 1 o'clock for me, so like I'm good.
If it's 1 o'clock for you, then it's 10 o'clock for me.
10, 9, that's the same time. It's still.
I mean, noon, 1 o'clock, same time.
Yep, 100%.
But with that, enough about what we're doing this weekend. Let's talk about what we did this last week. And what have you been playing?
Oh, Final Fantasy 14. I was going to be like, I've been playing building the CNC machine. No, I've been playing Final Fantasy 14. That's not the question you were asking me.
True.
Yep, that's it. Final Fantasy 14. Granted, I didn't play this much this week. I only played for like 3 days. But I've been watching Cobra Kai, so that took up pretty much all my free time yesterday. I got to episode 8.
Yep. But with that, though, you did bring up the CNC machine, and I did want to ask you, A, how's that coming along? And B, where is it going?
I haven't figured that out yet. It's either going in the basement or the attic. The only problem with the attic is easier for me to put it in. But it's hot up there, and there's a lot of 3D printed parts. So does it get hot enough to melt plastic? I put some plastic up there, and then I've been checking on it. It hasn't melted yet, and it's been pretty hot.
Well, here's the thing about plastic. When we 3D print it, it's like what, 200 degrees, 180 degrees Celsius?
Yeah, but it melts and it warps like a lot earlier than that.
Yeah, so probably 160, 140.
Yeah, so and it's been like 90 degrees outside the last couple of days over here. So the attic's been up there. So
true, but that's like 30, 33 degrees Celsius.
I mean, it's not that low, but
it is. It actually
is. It that? Is it?
Hey Google.
Oh yeah, it is. No, it's like 20 something, isn't it?
No, 20 something's like,
I don't know. Who cares? Who uses Celsius? It's a dumb measurement.
Yep, we're Americans here with a bunch of Canadians watching. Honestly, I'm surprised at how U.S. centric this podcast is.
Oh! So it started playing in my ear.
Oh, what's playing in your ear?
An ad.
Oh. Well, luckily, it's not on my end, so who cares?
Yeah, it's not. So I'm not running the show.
Yep.
Leave it up to you now.
Yep. Honestly, it makes things easier.
Just Final Fantasy 14. I hit level 55. I'm almost done with the base game. I have like 3 more quests to go on, but it's 3 8 person raids one after another. So I kind of have to get a team.
Yeah.
Because I'm a DPS, so it takes forever to get a party.
Yep, and that also happens if you get a good healer as well, someone with healing abilities.
100%.
Because wasn't it like with our friend now, MC Fixer, were you a part of that raid where?
Yeah, it was me, him, and Nick, where the guy just stopped healing us and then quit halfway through it.
So, did he heal you at all?
I mean, a couple of times, but it wasn't nothing substantial.
Yeah. Because what, he was a bard or something?
No, he was a healer.
Okay. So
that was the one with Stead. So Stead joined the thing thinking that someone else was the healer because he's the bard. He took the healer spot.
Mm-hmm. God. Yeah, that just sounds like a lot of frustrations and whatnot.
Yep, pretty much was.
Yep, that's why I get a bunch of friends if you ever want to play an MMO.
I mean, we did have a bunch of friends and then you stopped playing.
Yep, absolutely. That tells you one thing. We're not friends.
Wow. Okay.
Just a couple of...
Then tell me about your games, jackass. I don't care anymore.
Well, so the first game I played was Douchebag Simulator 2021. So I wake up one morning and realize, you know what? Friends aren't that much of friends anymore. So then I get on my computer and go, I'm not going to play Final Fantasy 14 with you because I don't want to be friends. And that's when it all started, Douchebag 2021. I realized...
Once you started playing Black Desert instead.
I haven't played it in the last week.
Oh.
I've been busy playing some other games. I said I would finish some games, and I have finished some games. Oh, actually. I don't think I talked about finishing another one. But no, Douchebag Simulator 2021. That's just because I look like a piece of shit person right now without a beard. Because that's another thing we haven't really pointed out on the podcast is, for those visually watching, normally I wear something called a beard. I say wear because it's just been a part of my attire for years. And yeah, I decided to go, you know what? I want the hair to be somewhat even, so I'm just going to shave it all off and just let it grow back in and then recut it later instead of trying to...
I need a shave. My hair's starting to creep up to my eyeball.
Yep. Oh, mine does that. Like,
yeah.
I got hair like right here. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, so I shaved off the beard and now I look like I need to ask my parents for consent to stream.
You look like Justin Bieber. Young Justin Bieber.
Yep. And I was like, baby. Oh.
Okay, nope, we're not doing this.
But with that though, actual games I've been playing. So one, after beating a bunch of games, I started to get back into Judgment, the Yakuza spin-off series. Because we got Lost Judgment coming out in just a few months. And I was like, I gotta finish this one game. Because it is still a beautiful game. And yeah, honestly, I might play a lot more of it once June 23rd hits. As we'll talk about in a later news article, that Stadia is finally coming to Google TV and some Android TV devices. Finally. More on that later in the show.
All time.
No. Yep. I also started playing Squadrons again after fixing a problem I had on my computer where I couldn't play VR games.
What was it? Was it Steam or was it Windows?
It was Windows because I was using a dev.
Okay.
I used dev builds of the Insider.
You in the preview?
So, yep. And the latest build just destroyed VR for me, so I just went back to the previous update and like, hey, everything works. Plus, with the things I fixed with the cooling of my graphics card, making everything run smoother too. So, played a few hours of Squadrons again, and boy, is it a lot of fun. Especially when you get to fly first person in those,
it's real fun in VR.
Yeah, it is one of the best VR games.
I just wish it worked better with the Oculus Quest.
Yep.
The Oculus Quest has a real hard time keeping up when you're in desktop streaming.
Yeah, you're also doing it wirelessly, correct?
I tried with a wire and wirelessly. Granted, I didn't try with the Oculus fiber cable.
Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of it comes down to...
But I did have issues.
Yeah, I think it had to do with video encoding because of the graphics card, and a lot of that processing power is going to the game.
Yeah. So, it was like real choppy.
Yep. But luckily, I got a little thing called an index, and it works. Yep. But let's talk about games I've actually beat in the last week. After I talk about Mass Effect Andromeda. Because I was like, you know what? I still got that Mass Effect itch. I don't know how long I'm going to have it after playing Mass Effect Andromeda for a little bit. I'm going to get farther than I've ever had in this game before. I picked this game up like 3 times before. Wasn't fully invested in it. I always went to some other game. But I'm going to try to beat Mass Effect Andromeda and see if it's actually a good game deep down.
You're not going to do it?
Probably not, no.
Next week, you're like, that game's a piece of shit. And I never played it, so I can't tell you if it's a piece of shit or not.
Yep. But you know what is a piece of shit?
What's a piece of shit?
For Honor.
For Honor is a piece of shit.
I haven't played it, but you know what?
Not a good game. Not a good game.
But I did beat Mass Effect 3 in this last week. And playing it with all the DLCs and this Legendary Edition version, I can say it was probably my favorite Mass Effect game. Ending and all. And like I'm beating it one more time so I can get the perfect ending, which I don't fully agree with. Because I love the ending I chose. It's personally what I believe in. And with that, like I cried at my ending. And I give this game a 9.5 out of 10. Like, just a couple of things it probably could have done better. I gotta really think about it. But like, playing all the DLC, getting closure with everybody. And like, especially after going back to back to back with 1, 2, and 3. Kind of watching the evolution of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it definitely became my favorite by the end. Like, I had plenty of laughs during the Citadel DLC. And like, I've just enjoyed myself immensely. I'm really glad that I am... Sorry, I've looked over at my Discord messages. I don't think Mitch realizes I'm streaming right now.
Oh, Mitch.
Mitch is like, oh, I have one more thing for this idea that I have. If we want to talk about it later.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Rob. So I didn't play another game, but I watched all the cutscenes from Kingdom Hearts Union Cross again.
Oh, yep.
That took 8 hours. Because
we're gonna get the announcement for like a next Kingdom Hearts game for Xbox.
I mean, I don't know about Xbox, but like, I'm hoping. I doubt it. I honestly, that was one of my things when I just came from Westville. I highly doubt we're gonna hear any Kingdom Hearts anything at E3.
Well, no. See, Final Fantasy 16 is going to PlayStation. Kingdom Hearts is now an Xbox title.
That would never happen. Xbox only? I don't think that would ever happen.
You know, I would love to see what it's like come Tuesday or Sunday. Well, Tuesday when we talk about it. Oh, no, if we're doing a live stream. Yeah. And then I did beat one more game that I realized I didn't add to the list. Battlefront 2. I beat Star Wars Battlefront 2 in this last week.
I think you added that last week, didn't you? Didn't you beat it last week?
I don't think I beat it last week. Like, I was close to beating it. And then, like, I did that in the DLC. Or maybe I did beat it last week.
I think you beat it last week.
Because I could have sworn I beat, like, a bunch of games in this last week. I decided to actually finish them. Oh, and I started Far Cry 5 again on Stadia. Game's really pretty in 4K on my TV. But yeah, you know what? If I talked about Battlefront 2 last week, I give the main story a good 7 out of 10. And a 6 out of 10, a 6.5 out of 10 for its DLC extra story. It's just way too short. Doesn't do anything except...
I mean, for that game, I've only ever played the multiplayer.
Well, multiplayer is fine and all, but I really wanted to give it... I really wanted to give it that the try of... I wanted to see what it was like. But with that, I think that's all the games we've played.
Yep, that's all again. I have one game. I have no life. Well, I have life is why I can't do it.
Yeah. Well, that and you're building a CNC machine. If you weren't building a CNC...
CNC machine?
Yep, the CNC. It's Martin Sheen's other son. It's Cian. Or Sean.
Okay, get into the news, Rob.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the news for the weekend. We got 7 stories, and mostly no bullshit.
Nice.
Starting with story number 1. NVIDIA CEO issues mobile RTX in favor of GeForce Now. This is Chris Duckett over at ZDNet. Now, this isn't the laptop mobile RTX. This is for phone RTX. Because with AMD announcing in this last week that they're bringing RDNA 2 and ray tracing to Samsung Exynos processors.
Yeah,
That
which is crazy for mobile phones.
yep. Nvidia brought up that for their on how they see ray tracing coming to mobile in the form of streaming, of being able to do like kind of high render for the most part games and be able to
Yep.
play them on your mobile devices. Like I've been able to play it plenty of it through GeForce Now, and like yeah, that's where they want kind of like their mobile RTX to go. And I mean, AMD's making a big comeback in terms of them as a company, and I
Yeah,
wonder
remember,
what
they're supposed to be bankrupt last year.
was AMD bankrupt last year. I don't.
They
I
were
want to.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
Projections saw 5 years ago that in 2020 they were going to be bankrupt.
Oh yeah, because yeah, 2016 before the launch of Zen, like
Yeah,
AMD was just
when they're still
downhill.
on Bulldozer.
Yep. Still on that architecture. What 28 nanometer? Yeah.
Yep, real bad.
Real bad. And like
Yeah, I had a Bulldozer CPU. I saved all my money from a job one time that I had, and I bought one. Like I built a computer, and it was real bad.
yep. Did you buy that 8350?
I think I bought the one step below it. I did buy the 8-core one.
Yep. Which is a fake 8 core because it was the. It's similar to like their version of hyperthreading, but not calling it hyperthreading.
Yeah.
4 cores, 8 threads.
Yep.
And they got a lawsuit in that. I
I got $75 from that.
Yep. So you got what, like a quarter amount of what you paid for the processor?
I don't remember. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you what I paid for that thing.
Yeah. But you know what? You got some money back.
Yeah.
But yeah. So instead of NVIDIA kind of doing what AMD's doing and putting their ray tracing processors into a mobile phone, NVIDIA's putting more of their money into their streaming service, which honestly I think is a better idea for them because AMD doesn't have their own kind of what's that called? AMD doesn't have their own streaming service for games.
Yeah, they don't have a streaming service.
However, I would like to see tensor cores in a mobile phone because DLSS would be fantastic for gaming on mobile phones.
Like I honestly doubt it, but you never know. They made a Switch. They made the Switch CPU, well APU, and that's pretty much just a fucking mobile phone.
Yep. Well, that's because they put it first in their NVIDIA Shields and then their tablet, and then their TV box, and now we're here. And with that, though, I think that's enough of talking about NVIDIA. Not too much more to talk about that. It's hey, they're putting money towards their streaming service versus putting hardware in phones. But there is something else we can talk about, and that's days of play for PlayStation. Because guess what? I think we kind of talked about it a little bit, and I want to emphasize this. You over here at Days of Play, there's some pretty good deals on games if you actually have the consoles. Like Last of Us Part 2, this Sony Pony game of last year for $30. Depending on where you live, though, you can actually go to a store and pick it up for as little as like $5 over in the UK.
Wow, is that cheap?
Yeah, in the UK. Go to Game and you can get it for £5.
5 pounds of what?
5 pounds of metal.
Oh, nice.
Yep. But I think the big thing here is, of course, 12 months PlayStation Now for $45. I'll bring this up one more time because the offer ends tomorrow, June 9th, 2021. Which is going to be fun. So yeah.
Not low enough. It needs to be cheaper.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You can always go to Costco, get yourself, well, if you get a Costco membership, you can get gift cards for like $10 off. Like, I think it's like a $50 gift card you get for $40, for $100 for like $90.
Oh. Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yep. So save some money, and you can actually use those gift cards to buy a PlayStation because you can add them to your wallet for the PlayStation Store.
Yeah. But then I also would need to get a Costco membership. So there's my money right there
Yep, $60.
that I'm saving. Yeah, I don't. I'm good. Also, don't have a Costco near me.
Well, what's not near you?
What do you mean?
Like, what's the distance for not near you?
It's like 3 towns over,
Okay.
3 cities over.
And that's what? 30
It's
minutes?
honestly probably like 30 minutes. I think it's too far to go to Costco.
Yep. Oh, I used to do it all the time when I lived on an island. Not in Hawaii, but over where I live, there's a separate island. You got to pass this one bridge.
Uh-huh.
And it's like a 30, 40-minute drive, but it was still worth it.
Okay, Rob, we've been talking about Costco for way too long. Why don't you get into topic number 3 if you're done with topic number 2?
Well, here's the thing. We're talking about deals. Ain't nothing better than a deal from Costco. On the talk of Costco,
Okay, sure.
let's talk about Xbox so you can buy that.
Okay.
But with that, let's talk about some other deals coming right before E3. I highlighted some in our docket here, such as like you can get Xbox Game Pass for 3 months for $1.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know what that is for new users because it doesn't necessarily state that here in the article.
Excuse me.
So if I can just buy and like renew for 3 months for $1, fantastic. New people who don't have Game Pass Ultimate already, 3 months for $1, fantastic. It's usually $1 for a month. And then $10 off for the Razer Kishi for Android. I went to Target the other day and I saw
$90.
Yep. So instead of $100, it's $90 for a remote controller for your phone. And honestly, I'll probably pick one up because although I do like using my Xbox One controller, you know what? I don't know if it's fully worth it because I do like my Xbox One controller. I love the feel of that thing. This Xbox One controller is one of the best feeling controllers I own. I have a bunch. I don't have that PlayStation 5 DualSense controller though. But another deal I wanted to bring up here is save up to 25% on Kingston HyperX gaming headsets, including the HyperX Cloud Flight.
I was just talking to chat. I was talking to chat because Chris rated us.
Nope. Oh, thanks for the rate, Chris. I didn't actually hear it. Well, probably because I have a
yeah, it's turned off for the podcast.
Yep. But yeah, like if you want to get yourself a new headset, save 25% off with the HyperX stuff, and HyperX headsets real good. Yep. Well, let's see what's next on the docket. Because yeah, I mean there's some other ones like get yourself a 4K capture card. Well, actually, it does HD pass through a 4K 60, which I actually enjoy.
Yeah, that's the internal one, right?
Oh no, this is the external one.
The external ones do. I thought the external ones didn't do HDR.
It doesn't. I don't know if it does fully HDR, but it does 4K 60.
Oh, okay.
Which actually, I think I'd rather have the 4K 60 than 1080 HDR.
Well, that's what I have the Pro, so like I can do HDR pass through and all that.
Yep. Yeah, this is for the Razer Ripsaw. But
okay, I lost the doc. Here it goes. So we're done with the sales. Here's some more deals though. AT&T will enhance network for Stadia, offer 6 months. Stadia Pro deal. This is a 9 to 5 Google by Kyle Bradshaw.
I'm gonna let you know these next 4 stories that we have.
All by Kyle Bradshaw.
Oh, Kyle Bradshaw, baby! It's Kyle Bradshaw Day over here at Stratus Gaming Podcast. Never met the guy.
So yeah, I don't have AT&T cell phones or internet at home, so this does not work for me at all. But starting June 9th, AT&T is offering customers of their 5G mobile plans and home fiber internet 6 months of free access to Stadia Pro. On top of that, the deal offers customers a coupon to pick up a Stadia Premier Edition, which includes a Chromecast Ultra and a Stadia controller for $20. That's not bad.
Nope, it's not. And then looking,
Nope. Continue.
I want to say, did you want to read that last one?
No, I was reading the chat because there was a whole bunch of stuff popping off. So
Yep. Honestly, thanks for all the talking in the chat though. We actually do appreciate it. We do love the interaction. But yeah, on top of that, AT&T will enhance network for. Yeah, looking ahead, AT&T says they're collaborating with Stadia to explore ways to enhance both their fiber and 5G networks to innovate and better serve cloud gamers, both at home and around town. When you're gaming with Stadia Pro, AT&T 5G and AT&T Fiber provide the backbone for a seamless gaming experience, whether you're playing in your home or on the go. Powering great experiences that our customers love, like gaming, is what our network do best. I mean, I don't know. Well, I guess I don't necessarily use AT&T for gaming. But you know what?
you have AT&T for your cell phones?
No.
You got Sprint.
Well, Sprint / T-Mobile.
T-Mobile. You have T-Mobile, yeah.
Yep. But yeah, honestly, I think I prefer that because, no data caps, I think are better than necessarily having the fastest speeds.
Yeah, I'm fine with no data caps. Even though my internet sucks. Like, it's Sprint's internet over here is real bad.
Yep. I've told you our speeds over here, and you're like, fuck you.
Yeah, they're real bad over here.
Yep. I'm over here by my back door, and I get like 3.
Well, granted, I'm still on Sprint. I haven't gone over T-Mobile yet. I wonder if that may help my service. I gotta go get a SIM card from them. Even though my phone uses eSIMs, and they should just be able to let me download one. But apparently I still have to go to the store.
Yep. Well, I think it still requires like an internal card. But yeah, like...
No, yeah, my card currently, I don't have one.
Huh. Yeah, I think it does, probably something different.
Well, I know the Pixels do eSIMs is what they're called.
Yeah, but yeah, if you're on AT&T though, there are 2 ways to take advantage of the deal. If AT&T Fiber is available to your area, new customers or customers who upgrade to 300 megabits or higher will get the Stadia deal. For AT&T Wireless, new existing customers on eligible unlimited plans. Okay, so you do get it if you do get unlimited internet, which I think is the best idea, not necessarily the fastest speeds, but just having the unlimited internet, like you said. Who add or upgrade a 5G phone, get the deal. So you have to get a new 5G phone on an unlimited plan to get it wireless. Or
that kind of sucks.
Yep. So let's see. I think we're done there with that article though for AT&T because neither you and I are AT&T, but I'm pretty sure there's plenty of people here. It's like, hey, you want faster speeds on your phone. You probably want that unlimited data if you definitely wanted to go into cloud gaming, be it with Stadia or with xCloud or Amazon Luna, whatever that gets articles. I checked today, still nothing. Not even something I can joke about.
Oh, for Luna?
For Luna, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so next news story, Stadia coming, finally. Stadia is finally coming to Google TV and Android TVs on June 23rd. This is from 9 to 5 Google, Kyle Bradshaw. So Rob, it's finally happening. You are finally allowed to play Google games on your Google device.
Yep. And honestly, finally, geesh, it took way too long for us to get here.
When did that come out? That thing came out last year, right?
Yeah, it came out last year. With our topic of the show, first mentions of it.
It came out around the time we started the podcast.
Yeah. Probably around November or something last year. But But first mentions of it for Android TV go all the way back to April 9th last year. And it's finally, after a year, coming to Android TV and Google TV. Which, side by side with the Chromecast, Stadia will also become officially available on a handful of Android TV and Google TV devices, including Walmart's shockingly affordable $25 on dongle.
Came out September 30th, 2020.
Yep. Wait, what was that?
It came out September 30th, 2020.
Yeah. But honestly, finally that it's coming. And I think the surprise, at least for me, is that day and date coming with the, or at least I say day and date for June 23rd, coming to the really cheap $25 Walmart dongle before a bunch of these TVs.
Yeah.
But yeah, the full list of devices that will be supported on the 23rd will be Chromecast with Google TV, that you can pick up for what, $35 or $50.
It's $50.
Yeah, $50. The Hisense Android Smart TVs, the U7Gs, U8Gs, U9Gs, NVIDIA Shield TVs, as well as the TV Pro, the On Full HD streaming stick and UHD streaming device, because it's not a stick, it's like a little box. The Philips 8215, 8505, and OLED 935's 805 series Android TVs, and the Xiaomi Mi Box 3 and Mi Box 4. So, when reading this list, I found out, Philips releases OLED TVs. Didn't even realize that until that. Not that cheap either, though. It's like $1,600 for a Philips TV.
Yeah. OLEDs in general are just expensive.
Unless you get them from Vizio, and then they're like less than $1,000.
Well, I don't think those are OLEDs, right? Aren't there those quantum dot ones?
No, the OLEDs, like sometimes you get a deal on the OLEDs, but they're less than like $800. They're like $795 on some sales. You really gotta wait for them. But I mean, like in terms of that, but I mean, like, yeah, they're only like around $1,000. They're like one of the cheapest OLED TVs. And honestly, I might pick one of those up if I don't pick up an LG. But for those who have an Android TV device and don't hear or see your TV provided in this list, that's fine. You can go to the settings on the Stadia app on the TV and enable gameplay from unsupported TVs. Kind of similar to how it was on the Google app, the Stadia app on Android devices. So you'll be able to play the game and whatnot.
Yep.
And then, so there is another thing in that, on how you can like connect your kind of this Stadia controller or whatnot, is that there's two different ways that this Stadia is going to work. This was found in the code by user Gembear Gaming. I'm gonna guess on Stadia. I mean, not on Stadia. On YouTube, which I accidentally started playing the video. I think.
No, it's not playing for me.
I did accidentally open it up in the background, so I did close it. I think I had it muted anyways, but still. But yeah, for the YouTube channel Gembear Gaming, who found in the webpage, depending on what devices it opens on, will either show instructions on how to add an account to a Chromecast, or shows how to install the Stadia app on Android TV. So combined, these suggest that the Android TV app may have an experience similar to that on Stadia on the Google Chromecast Ultra, where you turn on your controller and you would either connect your controller directly to it that way, or be able to add or remove accounts through the Stadia app and connect it to your Stadia TV. But enough about that, because honestly, I love finally being able to play it natively on a Google TV.
Yeah, like I said, I might buy one now because I said I was going to wait when that happened.
Yep. So now they can stop including the $70, $80 Chromecast Ultras with these Premier Editions.
I mean, they probably won't until they sell all of them out.
True. But until then, they might lower the price and give out the Chromecast with Google TVs.
Yeah.
They also do 4K HDR. But enough about that, because we can't talk about Stadia. Sorry about that. Stadia finally coming to TVs without talking about more games coming to the service. And this is also from Kyle Bradshaw over at 9 to 5 Google. Rainbow Six Siege and more coming to Stadia as Ubisoft Plus expands internationally. So finally, more Ubisoft Plus games are coming to the service. So Ubisoft Plus is now offering deep integration in many more countries. In support of a description, Rainbow Six Siege and more coming soon to Stadia. So more countries that are getting it, the Stadia Plus integration, is Canada, United Kingdom, France, Germany, Belgium, and Switzerland. So a pretty good amount of countries getting this. Finally. Honestly, it's surprising that it's finally coming to Canada, considering that Ubisoft is based out of Montreal.
Yeah, it took a while.
It took them a real long while. Probably to get the French Canadians.
When did we get it? We got it like December. November, December.
Yep. And it was on Amazon Luna first.
Yeah.
One of the things Amazon Luna will maybe be remembered for, probably not, is that it was the first to get at Ubisoft Plus. But to celebrate the expanded launch, Ubisoft has shared a new suite of games coming soon to Stadia. I spotted in a recent Ubisoft earnings call, Rainbow Six Siege is indeed getting a Stadia port, with the company promising more details at its Ubisoft Forward event on June 12th. And more games coming to the series include, but are probably going to be limited to for now, Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Rogue, Child of Light, Far Cry Blood Dragon, Far Cry 4, Far Cry Primal, Rayman Legends, the best Rayman game. But missing out of this list, though, is Far Cry 3. Even though Far Cry Blood Dragon is based off the engine of Far Cry 3.
Far Cry 3 not up there? Because you said it to me earlier.
I mean, I'm opening it up now on Stadia just to confirm.
I thought it was up there, but I could just be thinking of Far Cry 4.
Honestly, I think you might be thinking of Far Cry 4. Let's just... Why is my library only 23 games? Oh, it's because I'm not fully on. I gotta resubscribe to my Stadia Pro at some point. Because, luckily I'll be able to do that after the job. But I still have my Ubisoft Plus. But yeah, no. Far Cry New Dawn.
Yeah, no. Apparently it's not up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just 5. It's just 5.
5 and New Dawn.
And 6. But it's not out yet.
Yeah. I was gonna say, 6 is not out yet. So I don't think it's on any streaming service at the moment. But, at least I bought some games to play, which is nice. But, with that though, yeah. Honestly, can't wait for more of these games to hit the service. Because, yeah, honestly, I really love playing these Ubisoft games on Stadia. And honestly, just having the Ubisoft Plus altogether. Because until I get my an RTX card, I kind of don't want to. I don't want to necessarily play these games on my GTX 1070 anymore. Even though it's a decent graphics card, it's just.
When are you getting a ray tracing card? When you can find one?
When I can find one and I start working at the post office, which June 19th. Can't wait. After the E3 week is over. So sad. But let's end out our news with an APK insight, which this will lead into our news topic, or our topic of the week that I chose. I didn't really talk this over with the end. I was like, you know what?
Not at all. So I have no clue what's happening.
Yep. Our topic of the week that I have here is pretty much kind of like these code leaks. Like, what's it called when you dive in the code? It's like data mine. All the data mining of the code for the Stadia APK over this past year. And yeah, like I kind of had these kind of going. I went back all the way to hold up, I gotta reopen up. There we go. I'm started all the way with Stadia 2.13, which the first things that we mentioned in this were touchscreen controls. So the actual touchscreen of like having the buttons on there that we have today. And then the first mentions of Android TV. So this is all the way back in April 9th, 2020. In Stadia's version 2.2, it prepares to capture zoom so you can zoom in on your screenshots and pictures. And Google Assistant coming to the Stadia app on Android. It also has starts bringing in the achievement list and being able to take screenshots on Android. So we actually be able to use the capture on Android. When it first gets mentioned in Stadia 2.2. In Stadia 2.36, it preps voice in capture and referral benefits and more, which include capturing video. So if you hold down the button, it will do like the last 30 seconds. You can have it come with your voice, including the referral program, which is, refer a friend, get an extra month of Stadia Pro on us. Family sharing starts getting mentioned, where you can share your games with the family, your Google family.
Hey, Rob, can I ask a question?
What?
So you know how I just zone out sometimes, right?
Yep.
Okay. So is the top of your show really just you reading off patch notes? What's happening here?
It's not patch notes. It's kind of what's been data mined in the code of things that probably have come out in the future, but are first mentioned in the code.
Gotcha. Okay. So they weren't releasing these patches; they were just talked about in the patch.
Yeah, they were.
Okay.
They're in the code, but
Gotcha.
not available to everyone.
Gotcha. Okay.
So like a lot of these features, have finally come out now. Family sharing, messaging with friends on Android, being able to capture video, and like the referral program. The Google One free trial was another one where like we had the Google One cell phone service. I think it was. Was that Google One?
No, Google One is the storage. We get more storage.
Okay, yeah. And then they also start talking about quicker Stadia control setup, so it doesn't take as long to reconnect to your Wi-Fi or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then the first mentions of state share in your screenshots. So state share was kind of released with Crata, but it coming in screenshots that would kind of appear in Hitman, and I believe Fallen Order has it as well. And there's some other games that have it. I know there was that other one that was like a big feature about it. But like the first mentions of it coming in screenshots was in 2.39. It would later, be released alongside Hitman 3.
Hitman 3, game of the year.
Now, here's where we first started actually talking about like these patch notes and like what's in this. Was really starting with kind of 2.52 here on the podcast. Because that's where it was starting with the couch multiplayer. We can have multiple people on a Stadia at once. Where they added the Explore tab revamp, where you were able to, choose like different tags to using the Explore and find new games. 56K modem, if you remember that, where they were starting to mention back of January in this year. And then Project Hailstorm, which we find out a few later updates. Just never know what Project Hailstorm was ever going to be. I really wish Google would have mentioned it openly of like, this is what Project Hailstorm was, and we just killed it. It just wasn't working out.
Yeah, so they did just kill it, right? It just I thought it was like an April's Fool's joke.
No, because that's
what I thought it was.
That was a 56K modem.
Oh, that's what it. Okay.
Yeah, the 56K modem was an April Fool's gag. And then YouTube streaming is where they start teasing it back in January that you'd be able to stream on YouTube with connecting your Stadia account. And then family sharing limiting, so you can limit the games they play, how long they can play them, all that fun stuff. And being able to download your captures was first mentioned in that. I'm not sure if like how much later a lot of these came in, because I stopped like kind of looking more into like, okay, when did these actually release? But yeah, going this, and then we get the release of Stadia 3.0 and then 3.2. More mentions of Project Hailstorm, whatever that was supposed to be. More voice chat on Android. We actually don't have either of those yet. And that could be released alongside Android TV, because that was another thing of voice chat coming along. And like keyboard and mouse support being added to Android, still not on there. So a lot of these on here aren't actually out yet. So we're actually finally getting the stuff in the code that hasn't been released yet. Right to left languages support. So I believe Arabic is one of them. It goes right to left. Yep. You just
that Hebrew, all of that.
Yep. Yeah, I was looking at you for that one. And it's like, okay. And email notifications, being able to change your email notifications and what you get from Stadia in the app. Then more info in the 56K modem gag. And then Stadia 3.5. we get more information on the party chat, which includes Android TV in that party chat. So it could be coming with June 23rd's update, or maybe shortly after that. And then we got to say goodbye to Project Hailstorm, whatever it was. And then we're on the April Fool's gag being the 56K modem. Now we get to Stadia 3.9. Oh, God, we're almost done with this, and then we can end the podcast. I wanted to bring up at least a topic of the show for this, because we really didn't have anything. If I asked you, you'd probably be like, I don't know.
100%.
Yep.
I never know.
Yep. So, and I thought about this. It's like, you know what? We can bring this up. But Stadia 3.9 added this in the code of direct touchscreen support, meaning games that you'd be able to use the actual touchscreen, kind of like GeForce Now can, versus it just being like the buttons, the virtual buttons on the keyboard. Being able to add notes and whatnot to captures and screenshots and whatnot. Capture Player gets an update. That's the kind of the video playback, so you can see like being able to forward 5 seconds, reverse 5 seconds, pause it, whatnot. Some more work on the project, on the party chat, and more Android TV improvements. Stadia 3.12 prepares more referral bonuses, which includes party chat improvements and being able to batch delete captures. We talked about like last month or whatnot about 3.15, but that brings us to today / this last week with the release of 3.18, which also by Kyle Bradshaw, Stadia for Android Reading Store Filter, voice chat, Google TV Prep, and more. So yeah, Stadia Store filters are going to be adding a little more things. Adding a simple filter system to the Android, starting out as an experimental feature to enable in-apps experiments page. You'll be able to filter out games for whose name contains the text you type. So you can actually use the search function that they added just recently to find the games in your library. Which honestly, I'm all for. Honestly, great idea.
Yeah.
Should have been.
They need more organization stuff.
Yes. The update also includes a significant amount of work offers voice chat, another painfully missing feature. In particular, we find that the app maybe use a foreground service to handle voice chat, which should ensure the chat continues if you switch away from Stadia. So, like, let's say you want to quickly Google something, or you use the Google Assistant to search for something, it opens up a separate window. Takes you out of the Stadia app to find it. You can still talk to your friends while you leave the game, and then come back in a sec. Yep. And then last month in 3.15, because this is another big feature that might be coming if they don't kill it, and that's bridge mode. For those that don't know, bridge mode is, simply put, it allows you to use your phone to connect your favorite controller to Stadia over Wi-Fi. And that would allow you to be able to use almost any controller on Stadia on a Google Chromecast Ultra or a platform of your choice that's limited to only the Stadia controller. Be it this Android TV is coming later on June 23rd. Being able to use, because the Bluetooth on a Chromecast with Google TV, it sucks. It doesn't work. It's really only good if you need to use it with a mouse. That's it. You're not going to be able to use a controller. And that's where bridge mode comes great in that sense. It's being able to use a Bluetooth controller and using it over Wi-Fi, but lower the latency of the controller and be able to connect to a device that won't drop your inputs or lock your inputs. And yeah, in 3.0 it also includes a lot seemingly related to potential audio and adjustments and adding some Dolby metadata formats like Dolby Vision, or not Dolby Vision. No, what's the Atmos?
Dolby Atmos.
Yeah, Dolby Atmos and Dolby 5.1 high definition surround. And with that has been the last year of kind of in the codes. Oh, yep. Yep, Yeah, that no internet T-Rex potentially getting a 2-player mode on Stadia. Baby. Honestly?
What are you talking? Okay.
No, if you look at the chat.
No, I seen that, yeah.
Yep. But yeah. But yeah, honestly, a lot of features that came out in like the last few months in the code, can't wait to finally see them hit the service. Because the main thing I want to see and play is being able to use my Xbox One controller over Wi-Fi with my Stadia without having to plug it in over USB or use a faulty Bluetooth. But with that, let's go ahead and end the show.
Because I'm fucking melting right now, dude.
I know. I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and quickly end this for all of us. And with that, I have been Robbie Rob. That's been Encore. You've been listening to the Stratus Gaming Podcast. Each and every Tuesday, we come here live at twitch.tv/addictive-nerds to give you all the news on Stadia and other cloud gaming podcasts, or other gaming platforms, not just podcasts.
Platforms. We don't review other cloud gaming podcasts on this podcast.
Yes. But with that though, thank you all for joining us today. You can listen to us later on the VOD here on Twitch, or you can watch us later on youtube.com/whatever it is. I'll potentially remember to add it into our description of the podcast. And you can listen to us on a podcast service of your choice every Friday at 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern. Yep, I'm Robbie Rob. You can find me at Robbie Rob almost everywhere. You can follow Encore at Encore06 almost everywhere. And with that, stay awesome.